Hi, it's Ellie. You found the Hidden Grove, and today I'm going to be talking about my March picks for the capsule cards and coziness tag that I've been doing the past couple months. A tag to Kelsey and Tara. And basically, every month you choose 2 tarot decks and 2 oracle decks to use for the month to be your capsule. The idea comes from like capsule wardrobes, and yeah, I don't I don't really know how to explain it better, but the theme of March is plant the seed. I think it's a really awesome theme because in March we're gonna start the springtime, and Ostara is in March, and I am just very excited. Actually, Ostara is on my birthday, so I am always fond of the start of spring. This month it was actually pretty cool. Kelsey and Tara had Krista from Krista Chronicles on their channel as like a special guest while they were showing off their cards, so that was really fun to watch. You should definitely go check it out. I'm going to tag all 3 of them in the description box, but let's get started. So the 2 tarot decks, 2 oracle decks. For my personal reasons, I have added 2 extra decks to this, 1 study deck and 1 daily draw deck. So the 4 that I'm choosing for my capsule collection will be for like readings that I use spreads and have specific questions and things like that, like self-reflection or whatever. But I also use a deck every morning for my daily draw. And so I wanted that to be separate from the decks that I'm reading with. And this month's daily draw deck that I chose is the lilifer. The Lilifer Tarot. This is a new deck to me. I got it in December. It was a secondhand purchase, but I wanted this deck for a while, and I think using it as a daily draw deck will be just a great way to get to know the cards. I've already started using it for March. And I have pulled the Page of Cups so many times, which makes sense because a lot of new things are happening to me in March. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's been a lot of new emotions, and so the Page of Cups has kind of been following me in this deck. So I'm really looking forward to using it as a daily draw, and kind of through that process getting a little to know it better, so that once I start using it for spreads, I feel comfortable with the imagery and the symbolism in the deck. So yeah, it's the same creator who does the Reclaim Oracle. I'm really a fan. So this is the Lilifer Tarot. There's a new edition out now that comes in a 2-piece box instead of a tuck box, and it has like gold borders around it. I personally prefer the tuck box. I think it's just easier to store. So I was happy when I saw that someone was selling their copy online. But yeah, daily draw deck. All right. And then my study deck has been the same for the past 3 months. It is the Hermetic Tarot. I'm not going to show it because I keep showing it, but yeah, I didn't pick it up pretty much at all in February because it was a pretty intense time for me, so I didn't have the energy to study, and I will pick it back up now in March. And with that, let's get into the decks that I chose for, sorry, I'm just gathering them all. The decks that I chose for March. So the theme is Plant the Seed, and I kind of started choosing the decks. I was kind of gravitating towards floral decks and plant decks and things like that, but I kind of took a step back and I was thinking of what Plant the Seed really means for me and what I need this month from that theme. And for me, Plant the Seed is the planting of new ideas. Like I said, a lot of new things are happening for me in terms of like career and just new experiences in life. that I'm facing with the Page of Cups and new emotions. So I feel like just planting the mental seed of new concepts, new ideas, new way to face challenges. That's what I was really going for. So my first deck that I chose for this theme is the Trionfi della Luna, the illustrated Pips edition. And I thought this was such a great choice for this because each image, it kind of takes the meaning of the card and adds another layer, like turns it on its head a bit. And I think that the way that these cards are represented almost give an extra level of interpretation and can kind of plant that mental seed, if you will, of ideas, of emotions, of feelings. It can be pretty confronting, but I feel really comfortable reading with this deck. I really like the imagery, and even though some of it, you know, I feel like strays towards the, like I said, confronting side, I think it's great for just exploring new ideas and new feelings and kind of bringing in imagery that you might not have associated with it and seeing what emotion that brings up. And even if the imagery feels wrong, then you still learned something, right? You still learned like, oh, I feel like, you know, the way this card is represented doesn't really fit with what I'm thinking, but then you learned that it doesn't fit, and you learned why, and you're still learning about your question through this interesting imagery. I really love Patrick Valenza's artwork. I don't have the Deviant Moon Tarot, which I don't know, this just kind of does it for me, and I've never felt the need to have that deck, but one day maybe. So this is the first deck that I chose for Plant the Seed. The first tarot deck. The second tarot deck that I chose is the Adapt Tarot. I think that this deck, oh my gosh, this is a collage deck that you can find on Etsy. I think it's in its 4th edition run right now. I don't exactly know. I have the 2nd edition. They're pretty small runs, like each edition run is only 50 decks, but I love the imagery in this deck, and I think the white space is why I was drawn to this deck for the theme of Plant the Seed, because you have an emptiness that you can let your brain kind of fill with ideas. And I mean, we're seeing a lot of pretty busy cards right now, but throughout the deck, you have a lot of images that have this kind of white space, empty space that leaves room for your own projections into that space. And I think that with this theme of bringing up new ideas and new emotions and kind of this is the perfect deck to let your brain fill that space and let it occupy the space with these ideas and with these new emotions. You know, I'm really feeling that Page of Cups energy. I don't know if you can tell, I keep talking about like new feelings. It's just that card has been following me, and it's hitting home. It's hitting home, guys. But yeah, so I chose the Adapt Tarot for my second deck for the month of March. It also does have a lot of like nature-based imagery. So we have that like literal plant the seed meaning. I like that the backs of the cards kind of fold over to the front. That's a nod to kind of ancient tarot making, where the backs of the cards would fold over. I don't know much about it, but all right, so let's get into Oracle decks. Clearly the colors of the decks, or at least the vibe of these decks, it's more like earth tones, browns, and like deeper colors with kind of like an earthy sheen over them. So for my Oracle deck, I chose one that I thought would work with both decks, is the Earthbound Oracle. This is the first Oracle I chose. I think that the ideas of these in this Oracle are very amazing for clarification, and they are straightforward. And again, it's that planting the seed, like these words, so much can grow out of them. They are the seed of so many interpretations, vision. How much can I get out of that word? It's like the seed of an idea. And I love this Oracle deck. It also, like the backgrounds of the cards, it looks like it's painted on wood. So that's also very in theme. We have growth, toxic, balance. Yeah, this is a really, really great deck. So let's see it paired with the Deviant Moon. I generally find it hard to pair the Deviant Moon Tarot. Like, I don't even know if this works that well. But honestly, at this point, I'm not too worried about aesthetics. I'm more just like focused on getting that, like, learning about myself feeling from these cards. I want them to be accessible. I want them to feel like I can build off of the meanings. So this is great. It's like, it's emotional wealth and physical, like, stability. So we have the wealth of your love and partnerships that friendships and relationships give you, and then you have the wealth of your comfort and feeling at home. So yeah, I mean, I think that this will be really good. And then let's see how it looks with the Adapt Tarot. Again, I'm not like too concerned with aesthetics at this point. I just want that feeling like I'm getting. Let me just shuffle these up a bit so I see a few cards. This is great. Justice, Illuminate, and Two of Swords. So we're like hanging in the balance here. We're considering two options. We're weighing them against each other, and we're kind of in this stagnation, and we need an illumination. And if I got this in a reading, I would probably pull more tarot cards off of the Illuminate message, because here I see very strongly like a path that you're trying to make a decision between and decide what's going to be right in your life and what's going to give you fulfillment and give you that balance that's important with justice, the kind of like karmic balance, making choices that come back around to future success. So making choices with integrity. And then maybe the Justice card will help illuminate our stagnation, our stucks, our crossroads. Yeah, this is gonna be good. Ooh, so interesting. Temperance, Deceit, and the Devil. See, I'm seeing this and this is the feeling I'm looking for. I just want to start pulling cards and getting more into these messages. Okay, I'm very happy with these choices so far. So great. So the next one might be a little out of left field, my next Oracle choice. But I also want to remind myself that last month when I chose Oracle decks, I feel like this month with the Earthbound Oracle is just so practical. It's going to be really useful. But last month I found that, you know, I felt really lacking in my restriction to only 2 Oracle decks, because Tarot, it doesn't feel weird to restrict to 2 decks, because Tarot is Tarot, you know? It's going to be the same 78 cards, generally similar meanings if they are you know, within the same system. And I don't feel uncomfortable with limiting my use to just two. With oracle decks, I feel like each oracle deck in my collection is so different that if I was looking for a specific type of message, it was hard if I only had those two decks and those two decks didn't like give me what I needed, you know? So I'm not going to limit myself too much with Oracle. I am choosing two that I'm going to focus on. But if the need arises for, I'm looking for, you know, an Oracle deck that was going to talk about specific emotions, or an Oracle deck that references plant and animal life, you know, I know that I have those in my arsenal, and I'm not going to stop myself if I feel like it's going to enhance a reading. But okay, so that's why this is kind of an interesting choice, because it's a very specific type of deck. It's the multidimensional devas by Siliconway. I thought, I don't know, well, I kind of know, but this deck just jumped out at me when I was looking at the plant the seed theme. And I think it's because, I'll leave this up so you can see more images at a time, but it's because this cosmic energy, the energy of creation, is the seed of all our life today. You know, the primal messages that are in this deck are what makes us as humans and what makes our earth and what makes our existence grow. So this, in a way, is like the ultimate seed of our reality. You know, this deck, it's interesting because the dimensions starts with a nothingness, right? And then you have the first dimension, which is a dot, and the second dimension, which is a line. And that deck covers all of this. You know, it has that early dimensions in here, where the first dimension, all we have is a single dot, the seed of our existence. Second dimension, a horizontal line in space. This is how we create two-dimensional images. And I just think that, I don't know, the plant the seed, I was feeling that so deeply with this deck that I couldn't not choose it for this capsule collection. So even though I feel like it won't be practical for a lot of, you know, everyday readings that I want to do and everyday readings that I know I'm going to need this month, it still will be a great way to explore that cosmic energy. Here's the third dimension, you know, where you start to become our lived reality, right? We live in a three-dimensional reality. So this is where that starts to emerge, and you see the three figures, parents and a child. Oh yeah. And I like that I get a lot of intuitive hits off of this deck. I usually use the book. Actually, I don't think I've ever not used the book when I was reading with this deck, but even just this image, I feel like I can start to make my own associations. This looks like a frog creature, like eating gold. So I'm thinking of consumption, I'm thinking of greed, I'm thinking of taking, I'm thinking of, you know, abusing resources before they're fully formed. It almost looks like he's eating seeds. So not waiting for them to grow before consumption. So even there, I have all my own messages here, and eventually I would go to the book to see what, you know, was intended by this image, but that's what I love about this deck. So yes, this is my next Plant the Seed deck, and I think I'm going to, yes, I'll show you how it looks. Well, I guess I'll do it this way. Paired with the Adapt Oracle, the Adapt Tarot, sorry. I think it looks really great. Yeah. This is really awesome. I love the combination of the collage compared with like paintings. I think that they play off of each other really well. I think that if I were to pair the Adapt Oracle with another collage deck, it would be a bit overwhelming. Oh, this is perfect. The Magician and the Sun. So we have the Magician, who's the master of all creation and manifestation. And then we have the card that represents the third dimension, right? So where our world starts to become our physical reality, our known reality in 3 dimensions. So we have that creation, the third dimension, and then out of that 3-dimensional reality bursts forth life as we know it. We have this life bursting forward, and then the Sun card, which is our joy and our complete oneness with existence, right? The joy of being alive, the joy of being able to feel free in our bodies. Yeah, I think this is going to work really well together. So these are, I actually haven't tried to pair the devas, multi-dimensional devas with the trionfi della luna. So I'll try that right now and let's see how it goes. I don't know why I don't anticipate this being the best pairing, but we'll see. You know what? It's not bad. I actually really like it. I also think it's hard for the Devas deck not to pair well with something because the images are so abstract. It just kind of works with a lot of things. So great. So yeah. All right. Those are the decks that I'm going to be using in March. Let's get them all next to each other. See a good spread here. Beautiful. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will update you at the end of the month with how these pairings went. Bye-bye.